What's up with COSC 1436 Programming Fundamentals 1? Well, you'll find that the class obviously is offered in D2L. It basically adopts a flipped classroom approach. Alright, the reason why we do this is to recognize the challenges and the competing priorities of our community college students. Living in a multi-generational home, taking care of parents and their own kids, and working full-time. So what we've done is, by creating a flipped classroom in this particular type of class where you have problems to work on, is that when you come to class, you're working on the problems in teams where your professor is providing you guidance. All right, and what it does is it actually provides for a greater individualized learning program for you. All right, and in a very dynamic environment because you're working with your peers, and each of you are perhaps struggling on different things or the same thing, but it creates for a particular type of engagement. The challenge of structuring it this way is your preparation prior to class. And most professors, what they'll do is they'll take advantage of the multimedia that's out there and create short, manageable tasks for you to do that basically gives you an abstract, a cliff notes of the reading, and that helps you prepare for class. Obviously, you should, in an ideal world, do the reading as well. And if you've done that, then you are ready to hit the ground running when you come to class. So how does it look? I don't know. Let's just roll into it. Like in a typical module, because we've got, in a long semester, we've got 16 weeks. So each week has its own module. Alright. I'll have an area here, video nuggets, like I'll make recordings to show you certain things of how to do things in class so that you can always access them. Here we're going to be working on a chapter 2. Alright, and what will happen is you'll have homework problems to do in class. Alright, that'll be, if we meet twice a week, this will be what you're doing on the first meet of the week. You'll work on them in your teams that you pick at the very beginning of the semester, and I'll walk around and see how you're doing. Alright, I'll help you here if you have a question on something, or if I see you struggling, I'll give you a hint here and there. Okay, because as you're working on these, you're working with them, with your peers, with your notes and your book, etc. open, including the internet if you're face-to-face. If you're outside of class doing this distance learning, you'll just simply use the team discussion postings that I'll show you in a second. Within the class, what I'll do is I'll typically break. We may go over a problem together as a class, or I may go over a concept with you in class if I notice a lot of classmates are having the same particular issue and the same particular problem, or over multiple problems. Okay, and then on a Wednesday, what will typically happen is I'll pick up one of these problems. I may pick up a problem that's just like another problem, but we didn't go over in class. Okay, because remember, every once in a while, throughout the class, I'll go over a problem or two in class, just to kind of get you going. All right, or we may go over all the problems in class. It just depends upon the pace of the overall class and how I'm getting a vibe from you on how you're doing and what you need. And that'll be on a Wednesday if we're meeting Wednesday. And then we'll also, of course, take a quiz on Wednesday, on the second day of the class that we meet. Alright, and I'll let you take it twice. A lot of times I'll let you take it twice, and a lot of your professors will do the same thing. Is not just to let you have a higher score, because I average the two scores together, but it's also to create that additional study session. Okay, so that when you miss it the first time, I'll let you know which questions you missed. All right, so that you will remember it the second time, and of course have that additional study session of knowing what you've missed and now what the correct answer is. I'll always give you additional resources to look over and to have access to. And here's where I have the team discussions. This is important because it helps you take notes. Okay, so writing things down on a piece of paper, you can write everything down here, including everything I say in class. But typically, students will post their textual responses to particular problems here. All right, and that allows them to share just within the teams, because that's how it'll be set up. You'll be able to share your post and reply to them just among team members. And what I usually do is I'll look them over. I give you value. I add value to what you've posted, especially if you say in the subject header, Professor, please review. I'll look over it and say you may want to try this, or I may just give you the solution, just depending upon the engagement I got from the class. Okay, if you seem completely lost, but I know you're putting in the effort, without a doubt, I'll probably just give you the answer. But if I want to get a little more effort out of you, or if I perhaps feel that you know this and I want you to earn it on your own, kind of like being at the gym and you're doing a bench and you're pressing for a real heavy weight, and rather than picking up the weight for you or giving you any help on that bench press, I just put my fingers on the bar and pretend that I'm helping you finish that push. And then when you're done, I tell you whether or not I helped you at all. And sometimes I'll say, yeah, I gave you a little bit of help on your left side, or hey, you know, I was just spotting you. It was all you. And that's how I'll help you on your problems using the team discussions. Okay, this is a great way for everyone to help one another, and a great way for me to see who's helping whom, so I have a better idea of where everyone's at, and so I can allocate my resources based upon what I'm seeing there as well. And then, of course, typically, this is the multimedia that I have you guys do before you come into class, and you have access to it under additional resources. You can review all the chapters before you even come to class. But here, the difference is it goes to a different server, because through this server I can include questions, and that assures me that you've progressed through the video lecture in a certain earned manner. Okay, I'll know how well you did and how much you've consumed prior to coming to class based upon how well you did on these lecture quizzes, and they should be slam dunks. It's like stretching before doing your workout. Okay, they should be slam dunks. If anything, you'll miss. I typically have 5 questions on them, so if anything, you'll miss one and make an 80 out of 100 instead of 100 out of 100. But you can do them an unlimited amount of times, so you should make 100 before coming to class. And then, of course, ideally, you've done your reading as well, and thus, when you're in class, you're going to hit the ground running. And that is what's up with 1436. So see you in class face-to-face or online. Take care.